like you said, it was surprising and very interesting to see Jared and Michaela's journey this season. So we kind of get to see how things could have played out, if they had gotten back together kind of from the beginning. So for you, what was it like to finally have Jared in a relationship with Michaela? Because we've been, kind of teasing it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then what do you think about them ultimately not ending together?
Okay. Well, I mean, as the world knows, Mel and I have been in a relationship on and off for a very long time. So it was a very beautiful thing to be able to kind of just play that part that we've been teasing at for so long. I thought that we were definitely, after everything that these two human beings have been through, I'm like, they're gonna definitely end up together. Come on, there's no possible way. But when you think you know something, it tends to throw you a curveball. When I read the finale, or not even the finale, when from the moment I having to balance the notion of Dre being pregnant and Jared and Mick finally finding some sort of happiness. Even when they were together, there was also the thing of me like there was a gut feeling of being like something here doesn't feel right. I knew something was going to happen. And then the whole Drake pregnancy came, and even with all that, I didn't see the finale happening the way it did. Yeah, I mean, it was so fun to be able to play with both of them because they're such great actresses, and they're obviously my partner and a dear friend in Ellen. And um, I when I first read the finale, I wasn't sure how the audience was going to take it. I mean, there's a lot of moments, even on 19, where he goes in from. We shot it in the same sequence. Within a few hours, I went from one tent to the next. Ella and I kept laughing, being like, "They're going to hate us. Like they're going to hate us," And I was just like, and they again did a beautiful job of bringing the fact of the reality of these human beings, especially with Jared. There's just so much that happens and so much underlining storyline there with him ultimately ending up with her and not being able to be with Mick, and these two humans never there was always a level of understanding, even the way it ended. I think it ended so beautifully. I don't know how they ended up editing it and how it looks on screen, but on paper and shooting it that night, like there's just such an understanding of these two people going through so much. Him always wanting something that initially, and at the end of the day, she didn't want, which is a family. Having it with Dre, the way they brought it to fruition at the end, yeah, they just did such a beautiful job with it all, and I think that the audience is going to really connect with it, hopefully, and be okay with no Jaquela ending, because yeah, it's just the growth that these two characters have gone through and how it kind of ends is it's beautiful. I didn't see it coming, that's for sure.
Earlier, you were talking about Jared always being loyal to the Stones. Not many people are, but he sticks by them, even though it gets him in a lot of trouble
All the
sometimes.
time. He needs new friends. I always
So,
say, find a couple new friends, brother. Like go out, go to a bar, have a drink, find a new friend. Like enough.
why do you think Jared, stuck by them for so long?
There has never been another option from day one. It's always been um, the Stones have been his family. Just until recently, you met his own. This is his blood through and through. The Stone Ben, Michaela, like they're these people are everything to him. He take a bullet for them, and that's kind of what you've always seen. No matter if there's been moments of selfishness in his part. I think through the span of manifest, which a lot of people there's you got, which I love too, the relationship between Jared and Mick and Zeke and Mick when Zeke came in, and obviously Zeke is such a beautiful, loving, wholesome human being, and Jared has done some stuff that hasn't really tugged a lot of the fans' hearts. So I've gotten a little love and a little hate, but at the end of the day, he will always have the Stones back. He will always, Michaela will always be the true love of his life. And he will, he's like that crazy uncle that never goes away. It's just like he's there, and he's just like, that's just, it is what it is. This is his blood, through and through. There's just this underlying acceptance of this family for him that just, it's just, that's what it is. I've never even thought about, I was asked about it in a question earlier, and I never even thought about, like JR has never thought about what life, like Jared's life looks like without them in the picture, because they've always, it's just, this is always what, has been on paper.
So do you think even though Jared and Drea are going to end up together, at least that's what's hinted at the end, do you still think Mick is the love of Jared's life?
I do. I do think Jared, Michaela will always be the love of Jared's life. I think there is from everything these two humans have been through together. I think they did a beautiful job at the end. Hopefully, it came out because I remember our showrunner coming to me and coming to us and saying, "You guys just that scene at the airport at the end." He's like, "You guys did everything through your eyes. You spoke through your eyes, and it was just like that's all you could ask for." There was no argument. There was no fight when she said, you know, "You're not the one. This is you. You're I forgot what the words were, but there's someone better for you out there, I think, or something like that. And there was no. I think what he actually said to her was, "How the hell do you know? Like, how do you know that?" But there was also an acceptance of being like, this person, this is not the same soul. This is not the same eyes. This something here happened, and whatever 2.5 hour journey you just had, you're different. And it was and it was also like there's so much that happens between them. Like she always comes to him when there's pain, when there's turmoil, when she needs something. Like that's not the basis of a proper of a lengthy healthy marriage. So but again, she is the love of his life. So this is beautiful. Like there's all this stuff that has happened and all these beautiful colors that have been put on paper for so many for all these seasons that looking back at it, when I first read it, I was like, you got to be kidding me. But looking back at it, I'm like, I actually really love the way that ended, because it allows the audience to, not everything is perfect. And not sometimes humans come into your life that, you love the shit out of and you think they're going to be the ones, but they ended up just being in your life to really teach you something, and I think these two people will always be best friends. They've learned so much about who they are because of each other and because of being with each other and because of the journey of the struggles of trying to figure out how to be happy.
It was a beautiful moment. Both of you guys really nailed it. And I think both you, like you guys just did such a good job. I feel like just as actors, because usually, okay, I'm a ship person, so I can like ship one couple over the other. I was really struggling with Manifest. I'm like, I love Jared and I love Zeke. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know who
Yeah.
we
They
should
did a
end
really
up
good job
with.
of doing that. Yeah.
So, and that's
Yeah.
props to you guys. So amazing
Yeah.
job.
Yeah. I mean,
uh,
I ship Zeke. I'm not. I say it sometimes. I always get in trouble. I was a Cicada fan. Jared's just complicated, and and like the relationship between them was always just unfortunate. Like, it's beautiful. It's just created that turmoil and the complexities of what it was. Created the obstacles to have to which makes for good television. But for like stability and love, I was like, pick that guy.
You're like, I'm Team Zeke too. I see it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You were speaking earlier about the way, it ended, but still kind of being a little bit open-ended, which I thought was interesting. Um, Seems like, 828, you're never going to escape from it, even though they're in this new reality and they landed. You're gonna, kind of go down the rabbit hole with Drea and investigating it. Do you know, like, where your character would have gone from there? Like, did Jeff tell you guys like where he sees them or anything?
No, no. I mean, there was talks about maybe doing some more stuff after that, but no. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if there was any kind of spin off or anything like that, it would be maybe like Vance's character or something like that. Like, I don't think there'd be. Again, I think they did a really good job of kind of like giving you exactly enough to tie the knot in this sense, like, and yeah, I actually don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess you would see now you would see the relationship blossom between him and Dre. And like I remember the last moment when they were in the airport. Like I do think it was I had a long talk with Ellen about it, trying to bring in a little bit of quirkiness and different, a different kind of like tone to their voices, because it kind of shows, just to give a little bit of taste to the audience of what, why they ended up, having this relationship unfold the way it did.
I know this is hard, but do you have a favorite moment overall from the series? I know there's a lot to think back on, or
Yeah.
just a favorite trait about Jared, maybe that you loved playing.
Honestly, because I would say I'll break this down in a couple of quick segments. Loyalty is the one thing where I consider Jr. to. I've considered myself to be a very loyal person. I say it all the time. I've also played a lot of loyal characters, which is why I allude to this. Jared's very through and through. No matter how much he could be selfish at times and make it about himself, there was always a sense of loyalty to him, to this family, and to Michaela, and I don't think anybody would say otherwise. I say that to say, second season when I got a lot of hate mail for it, and I loved it. When he got to go undercover and kind of tried to do my best to get the audience to believe that he was bad, that was so much freaking fun. Um, I loved it. I loved every moment of it. It was a lot of fun to kind of play this double agent thing going on, and um, yeah, I got a little bit of hate mail for a little while about it. They're like, "I knew you were bad, you piece of shit," blah blah blah, all this stuff. I was like, "Yes, bring it, keep it coming." And everyone's like, "You got issues, man. You normally Matt was just like, I can't believe you like that." I was like, "I love it." I've always played even I played thugs that were still like loyal and likable. I've always played likable characters. So to be able to play something where Athena was always getting all the hate, so be able to get a little bit of it, it was fantastic. And the most important special moment for me through this entire journey on paper was when they were able to introduce my family, just to give a little spice of my culture and be able to speak a little bit of our language, and just that was so freaking rewarding. And I was, to this day, I still give Jeff a big old hug about it. And Carlos is amazing, the guy that played my dad. He's been working for so long. We connected right away. And again, just to be able to have the freedom, because they brought us to us, and whoever did the Spanish was not very like authentic. And we're like, I told Jeff, I was like, dude, this doesn't work. And he's like, write it, send it to me. And literally, I think 99% of what we wrote, Carlos and I wrote, made it on screen. So like, again, this job has been so collaborative, and the egos have been put at the door. And I think it speaks for, the final product of what it is, because everyone has really just come to work with their, best hand forth, and the collaboration from our showrunner to, every writer to like, it's a rarity. It's a rarity. So we're very, very blessed. But yeah, I would say being able to bring some Cubanism to manifest was fantastic.
What do you hope viewers are going to take away from the series? You've talked about the impact that you've seen firsthand, and it's definitely there. So what do you hope, if there's something that viewers take away, what would that be?
I think, I hope viewers will be able to understand, like I said, I think the main through line of how this whole show kind of wraps up is it will speak to everybody, in the sense that everybody will connect to the humanity of what the story actually meant. The dedication, the hard work these humans went through to try to like love each other and pull through. And yeah, I just think there's a little bit of everything for everyone in the last 10, in a sense of just trying to be better people, and love each other, and put love first, and put family first, and continue to yeah. I mean, there's humanity. It's all about humanity at the end of the day. And like I said before, I think they find such a beautiful way to give you enough for you to fill in the blanks, in a way that you're not left with like wanting to know more, or like, I hope. I think they just did a really good. That's a hard balance to do, and this is a hard show to wrap up. I don't know how the heck they were able to do it, but I hope that people leave here, satisfied, and content with, what the way the way it ended. Because it could have been a disaster. Let's be real. A show like this could have been this tough. Like, look at Lost. In my opinion, Lost was great, but I didn't really like the ending. Sometimes they try to do too much, and I feel like they did a really good job at keeping it grounded, and keeping about relationships, and keeping about love, and it allows the audience to really fill in the rest, which I think is going to be yeah, I think the finale is going to be very successful, I hope.
Well, it really was. All right, last couple questions for you. First, real quick, what was it like to be directed by both Josh and Melissa?
My goodness, this is a good one. I'll start with Josh. Josh is a trooper, man. He's such an incredible. He's so talented, and he's so lovable. He's all love. And he was constantly checking in on us, constantly making sure we were good. Like, and he was so good, and he worked so hard to be able to have a very clear understanding of the vision he wanted for that episode. And it was just really fun to see him. He was like a little kid on set. I've never seen him so giddy. He was so excited and happy, and it was just really cool. And the other one too. The other one was just like, I'm going to be drunk the entire week. To have my girl tell me how to do things and what to do things. This is going to be a disaster. I'm going to get fired finally. But no, just kidding. She was awesome. She was so nervous, and she stepped up and killed it. And like, to see her take charge of, a mostly male dominated set, and just get in there and have a clear intention of what she wanted and the shot she wanted. She was very specific about trying to get creative and still have to, because TV is very specific. So you still have to kind of, it's not a film where you can go out of the box. You still have to stay in the format of what they want. But I think both of them did a really good job of being creative and bringing a different spice of what you normally see and how you normally see it's directed. And they're also actors. So it was so easy. It's just they're actors. They're an actor's director, obviously. You know what I mean? So I think they both have a beautiful future in that. And it was just so cool to see them kind of step into it and kick ass, because I've seen both of their episodes, a little bit of it, and they did a fantastic job.
I think if we didn't know your work before, we're all JR fans now. So is there anything we can see you in next? What projects do you have coming up?
No, actually, I took a little bit of break. I am working on the production side of things. I want to get behind the camera. Eventually, I like to direct. I just haven't caught the bug yet. I got a couple of stories here that I am working with my team on creating. Yeah, we're just trying to get some stuff off the ground right now. We got a couple of stories. I'm optioning a book. I'm just trying to produce, trying to get behind the scenes. So I want to start creating my own content, have my own narrative, have my own control at the edit, because it's tough sometimes. You sit there and you work hours on end and you give them so much, and then kind of, you're at their beck and call or whatever they end up chopping up and using. And sometimes you can be unhappy about that. You're like, really, that's what you chose? Thank goodness Manifest hasn't really been much of that. But yeah, I just want to, I'm just working on some production stuff right now. It's unfortunately a very sad time right now with what's happening, but it needed to happen. And, it's going to be quiet for a little while, but yeah, I'm excited to see what's next. So I'm also being selective. I'm at a place now I'm very fortunate I'm being selective about my next job. I've been working for 12 straight years. So I'm kind of sitting back and really making the next decision be a meaningful one. I want to do something very different than no one's seen me do. So, and I keep getting a lot of the same stuff. So yeah.
Well, even if you're behind the scenes, we're going to keep supporting you, of course.
I
So
appreciate it. Thank you so much.